Hey folks, it's David back again with another video. This time I'll be talking about Karate Kid Legends. Saw it today at Turtle Creek Mall, Southwest or Southwestern Theaters. I can't even remember. Is it on here? It's not on here. But I'll give it to you this. Look at this. Turtle Creek Mall. Ticket stub. You can actually see the ink on there. It's a great big old thing compared to, I don't want to make fun of them, but it is what it is. Santikos, when I was at the Grand in Hattiesburg, right down the street from Turtle Creek Mall. Anyways, I always do this just to show you. It's Tuesday. I saw the, what was it? Was the 410? Yeah, the 410 showtime. We were in Theater 7. It only cost me $6.42. I'm thinking it was a deal, you know, being on Tuesdays and all. Anyways, I haven't been to Turtle Creek Mall, and I want to make a note about this just for the journal. This is a journal channel talking about movies. I haven't been to the Turtle Creek Mall there in Hattiesburg in many years. The last really good movie, really the last movie I think I saw there was Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. You know how long ago that was? But that was one of my favorite movie-going experiences, seeing the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, all those years ago, Turtle Creek Mall. The theater there has been defunct for several years in between then and now. It's pretty much arranged the same way and everything as it was then, but they renovated a little bit, and it's just one of those things where in a mall sometimes the theater just kind of goes away, no movie theater for a while, and then it comes back. Anyways, we caught this movie there at that particular showtime because it fit in better with our schedule than us going over to Santikos, the Grand in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Anyways, 2 minutes and 30 seconds of just telling you that because I want y'all to know the context of the event, because that's what I do on this movie channel. I tell you where I was in my life and all the rest of it to do with the movie, as well as what I think of the movie. Now, I'm going to switch over to audio here in just a minute to actually do the review. I'll record that later on my little audio recorder. It'll make this easier to upload when the time comes. But I just wanted to mention that movie theater, Turtle Creek Mall, in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I haven't seen a movie there in like 20 years. I can't believe The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. That movie came out so many years ago. But that's one of my favorite experiences in a theater. How many people were there? The X-Men 2 poster was on the wall. I remember that back then. And then when we go in, we see the trailer for it, and also Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Great time. Sad to say, maybe because it's a Tuesday, just weren't that many people in there. I would love to maybe catch maybe a brand new flick. Maybe if I can make Superman the opening weekend. I doubt it. Or Jurassic Park, just to see how many people are in that movie theater, because it was just neat to be there after so many years. It was a treat. I had no idea I was going to end up going to Turtle Creek Mall movie theater, Southwestern, whatever. I'm not even getting the name of the actual theater company correct. I just think of it as Turtle Creek Mall movie theater. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you before I get into the review of this, and also how there was no stadium seating that all the movie theaters felt like they had to go to back in 2000, 2001, 2002. This was more like a slight slope. And I felt like I was in a hallway. That's the way the movie looked. I was like, and it's right out of the door. It's like, I haven't been to a movie theater that's arranged that way as far as the seating and as you step into the great big room, the theater, in so long. I was like, I feel like I'm in a trap here. It's like I'm in a hallway and the movie's on a TV screen, elevated slightly. That's the way it felt. I eventually got used to it because I'm like, you know what? This is working out. But at the same time, if I were to see an even bigger movie like Jurassic Park or Superman in a few weeks, I want to sit closer, because we sat all the way at the back because I'm so used to theater like the stadium seating that I thought that's how it was going to be. Like I'm plenty close to enjoy the picture as much as possible. I don't have to be right up front. I don't even have to be midway. I could be just wear my prescription glasses, sit in the back, enjoy all the sharpness of all the screen, all the picture. But it's like that made it another interesting thing about my movie going experience today. How narrow it seemed like the theater was, but I guess that's how they all are to fit in to that building, which has always amazed me about movie theaters. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you before we get into the review, and thank you so much, folks, for joining me. Let's get into it. Okay, it is 5:14 p.m. here on the 18th of June as I carry on with this review of Karate Kid Legends. I have not actually seen the original Karate Kid movies. That might sound kind of weird, me going in to watch a movie like that. And I know there were numerous film sequels and the very successful Cobra Kai TV show. But if I ever did see him as a kid, I do not remember him at all. And just like I've got to do with the Rocky movies and the Pirates of the Caribbean movies and several other things too, I got to do a marathon one day when I just go back and watch these films and just enjoy them, because I know without any shadow of a doubt from things that I've heard and just basic imagery from you see on whether it's posters or just still images on the internet, the quality of the old films and how good they were. Again, I didn't see them. I don't remember them if I did see them, but it's one of those things that's got to happen. I'll definitely get back to seeing those movies one day. I wanted to see them before I watched this, just so it would all make more sense to me, but really, having seen the movie, this movie really didn't this is going to be me bouncing all over the place with this review, but I'm just going to give you my honest take on everything that I saw and how I regard it. It was a fun movie. It was a fun movie, meant to be fun and heartwarming in moments of it. I'm not going to say it ruined it, but it did aggravate me only slightly. I mean, it is such an upbeat movie in the end of things that I almost can't say this, but maybe it's because I want to be a filmmaker myself one day. I feel like I'm critiquing everything. I can't help it. I just feel like if several of the things in this movie, particularly related to the flashback scenes with Li Fong's character remembering back to the death of his brother and what all happened there, I just think that if things like that had been allowed to breathe a little bit more, and his relationship with Victor had been allowed to breathe a little bit more, slow down that dialogue a little bit, that New York accent and that mile-a-minute speak, and just the way they did several of the quick cuts and stuff, it didn't ruin the movie, because in the end, this is just a fun. It's just a fun little flick. It really is. But the critic in me wants to say, I wish they had slowed things down on a few of these things in this movie. If it, slow down on some of the dialogue, allow scenes to breathe. Like, well, you could have done a little bit with each thing. His relationship with Mia Lapani, that character played by Sadie Stanley. I don't know where I've seen her before. Maybe it's just another young actress who you feel like you've seen her before, whatever. I don't recognize anybody in this film outside of Jackie Chan, and I know Ralph Macchio plays Daniel LaRusso. Again, I haven't seen the old films, but at least I recognize him from this stuff. Oh, yeah. Dr. Fong, played by Ming-Na Wen. I went back and I verified she was Chun-Li back in the day in Street Fighter, so I know I've seen her, and I know she's been in all kinds of stuff too, and recently of Star Wars fame and all kinds of stuff. But other than that, don't recognize anybody really, except for Jackie Chan. But I really liked Ben Wong's character. He was good in this. He
was charming when it needed to be charming. It looked like he was taking things seriously when it was a serious moment. I just wish the movie had been there for him more. I mean, even if it adds 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes to the movie, I just wish things had been allowed to breathe a little bit more. And it seems like certain segments were just a little too eager to start up with that catchy synthwave music or whatever they were playing in different times of this film, and get on with the next scene, the next part of the story. I just wish it had been slowed down a little bit, but I guess they did what they could. I just saw it was a $45 million budget. I don't know how much the film was made. My sister, who I saw the film with, along with my mom, she was kind of downbeat or sad or whatever she said, that there weren't more people there to watch the movie. Then again, it was a Tuesday afternoon, so what can we expect? Anyways, starting at the beginning of the film, we see not Mr. Han, it was Mr., I want to pronounce his name right, and I do not want to get this wrong. It's the original karate master. It was the sensei, Miyagi. I don't know how they did that. This is something I'm going to have to look up. Half the budget was probably spent on this one scene. If this was this an actual deleted scene, or was this something from one of the original films? Tell me in the comment section if you know. The first scene of this movie where Miyagi's talking to a young Daniel LaRusso about how the two branches, one tree idea, and how he tells the tale of the man who was washed up onto Chinese shores, basically, and taken in by Chinamen who would teach him Kung Fu. And so there he is from the island of Japan, and that's how the two branches, one tree thing got started. It was a neat little way to begin the film. I liked it, and I really liked as Mr. Han, Jackie Chan, is teaching Kung Fu to these all these young students in this school, this dojo. The way that they did the subtitles, like an English restaurant name or some such thing, will suddenly change to Mandarin or Japanese, and how they did that. And when he's barking out orders as an instructor, like a drill sergeant almost, teaching these kids as they're going through all their drills and their different self-defense moves and attack stances and all this stuff. Jacket on, jacket off. How that what they were saying, what was coming out of their mouths, it's on the screen. What they're saying. I really like the way they did the subtitles. The way the words are flying all over the place, and all the kids were saying it. It was very neat. I liked it a lot. And basically, this is the classic story of, even though it seemed like it was done in kind of a hurry. Again, I wish the movie had, even if it's a little bit longer, it wouldn't have been too long, considering it wouldn't have felt like it would have been too long, considering all that happens in this movie. If it had been a few minutes longer, to let things breathe a little bit. But this is the old story of, actually they say it a couple of times in the film. First, I think Mr. Han, but then Dr. Fong, Fong's mother, saying, going to New York. He's like, why do we got to do this? He's like, new city, new customs, or new city, new traditions, new food, new this, new that. And you get that sense of being a guest in someone else's country, even though he's gonna be living as an American, right? In America, his mother's taking a job in a New York City hospital, and it uproots his life. He didn't want to leave Mr. Han. He didn't want to leave China. The one girl, she asks him, Mia, how do you speak English so well? Well, I went to, he says this, an American school in China. So there you go. Oh boy. Anyways, I like the Okay, this is one part of the fast-pacedness of it all that I did like. The way his relationship with Mia, who he obviously likes, it starts burgeoning right off the get-go. Even though the first encounter with her dad, Lee Fong, Victor, when he goes into the pizza place asking if he's got a stuffed crust, and I thought, this is what Victor says is so rude. I thought, what kind of movie is this? And really, it was kind of this is a scene of the movie that really did it, as far as is this going to be a kind of a brutal, gritty, well, not brutal, but a more gritty tale or story? The way he answers this kid, like, hey, I'll tell you what, I thought he was about to say, the way he brought out that attitude tone, I thought that Victor was about to say, hey, I'll tell you what, you want a stuffed crust? You drive, you turn around, you get in your car, you go 20 miles, you go 100 miles or whatever to Jersey or whatever. And I thought he was about to say, the way he was on it, I thought he was about to say, like, some kind of a racial, like, some kind of racial whatnot, and he was gonna go there, and just rude and mean-spirited. But no, this was like a turning point in the movie when I knew, okay, it's not going to be that kind of a, like, more of a hardcore rock'em sock'em movie. This is a little bit lighter. Not only is he not that mean, his daughter instantly comes out saying, oh, I can't believe I've got she's disrespectful to her dad. Like, I've got a couple of morons here. One of them is my dad. Somebody's got to run this place proper. And then she speaks to a customer, because Lee Fong is a customer. He's asking about pizza in a very respectful way, taking his order. And what do you have? What do you? Well, we don't have stuffed crust, but we've got pepperoni, sausage, traditional, this, that, and the other. And so he orders a pizza, right? And then after he leaves, her dad is like, oh, when did you get to be so charming? It's like that whole. She says somebody's got to be here or something like that. That whole scene of Lee Fong first going into the pizza shop really told me, okay, this is not going to be, because you know what I'm getting at, right? You've seen it 100 times in other movies where somebody, not just an out of towner, but maybe somebody who's foreign, they come into a place and the you've seen it in 100 movies. The shop owner, the shopkeep, whether they actually own the place or not, they basically tell the, hey, why don't you get out of here, why don't you get back on the horse and you get out of here, and just send people away, disappointed, and like, where did that come from? That wasn't necessary. That kind of thing. But no, this was the beginning of the movie, basically, as far as the New York chapter, because he likes Mia, he tries to help pick her stuff up when she accidentally drops it. He wants to ask her out. He's very charming. Mia's like, oh, you're calling yourself my boyfriend now? And it's all so lighthearted, and I really appreciated it. One thing, though, that I got to say, the character played by Aramis Knight, what a name. He plays Connor Day. He's the guy you see in the trailer who's pushing people around, and he's a bully with his karate. He will hit you in the eyeball on a subway the way he did Lee Fong and just keep on trucking. He don't give a care. He's a bully, and he pushes people around, and apparently he's her ex. And there's this part of the movie where, and again, you've seen this 100 times in movies, where Lee Fong inadvertently saw Mia getting a little kind of, or maybe not too friendly with Connor, her ex, her bully, jerk ex, but was a little bit maybe too smiley and welcoming of his advances, we'll say, as he's getting behind her and getting all kind of close to her and flirty. And Lee Fong, he can see him in the distance there when they're at the festival place, this part of the movie. When he basically confronts her, even that was funny and charming, that whole thing that went down between the two of them. And when he's like, well, no, actually, I need you to explain it to me. It was funny. Their little romance was just neatly done for what this movie is. It's not some epic romance. It's a couple of kids, for the most part, who, they like each other, but there's some stuff to work through, right? And when she tells him, look, I know, I know it's not what you think. What you saw, she more or less tells him, look, I've got a problem. I kid you not. And I'm almost smiling at this because I'm like, this is kind of weird almost, this sequence of this movie where Mia tells Lee that, listen, he's my mistake. He's the kind of guy I never should have gone with. But he wasn't like this in the beginning. He changed, and now he's evil. But he's a mistake that I can't help but keep making, but I want to stop making it. And instead, I want to go make mistakes with you. And then Lee's like, oh, wait, that's what we're doing? We're just making mistakes? And even that transitions into another funny, charming little thing. But the point is, when she said that, I'm driving home from the movie thinking, this was a kind of an excellent little movie. Because in this movie, you see a young woman more or less admit to the guy, yeah, I'm a thought. T-H-O-T. I'm a thought like all the rest. But at least I'm confessing it to you, and I do want to be with you. I thought to myself, there's just something kind of funny. There's just something kind of funny to me about the way that whole thing went down. But let me go back to talking about the whole thing in the lead up to Mr. Han basically coming to save the day, coming to Lee Fong's rescue. His relationship, Fong's relationship to Victor, it was really interesting. I thought it was, I don't know if I've ever seen this before, in this sort of a movie at least, where a much younger man, still in school and all, is going to teach a grown man martial arts of a different sort than he's used to. Because there's Victor, a boxer, and he needs to work on his speed and all, and he needs new technique. And he's like, I want you to train me. I want you to train me. I want you to teach me. I'm gonna win because of you. It was almost weird. It was almost weird, that whole thing. I mean, it was kind of good looking as far as the training montage and all that he goes through as he's teaching him discipline, and he takes the seat away, and he's still got to remain in that posture that you see where, how does anybody do that? Straining every muscle in his body and all the rest of it, and hold this jar with one hand, like so, all the rest of it. Lots of training montages in this movie, from Lee Fong training Victor, from Mr. Han training Fong, to Mr. Hong and Daniel coming over and training Fong. So it's like it feels like there's 3, maybe 4 different people being trained in this thing, and I guess that's why they call it Legends. I'm wondering where Will Smith's son Aiden is. I know they made a movie about that also. I think that's where Jackie Chan's Mr. Han originally comes in at. I got to watch that one when I watch the earlier Karate Kid movies. But I just thought that was, it wasn't off-putting. It's like, are you really going to ask this young guy? I guess it's all supposed to be indicative, or it's supposed to be a testament to how desperate Victor is, because he's in danger of losing his pizza shop because of the loan to the loan shark that he can't pay. And I'm thinking to myself, don't you guys want your money back? It seems like they would want Victor to win the match, the boxing match, so they could pay off the money he owes these villains, right? But no, it is brutal. It's basically the one tense, shocking gut punch that you receive in the movie when they're in the boxing ring, and Victor, he's making a comeback against his opponent, and all of a sudden his opponent gets a signal or whatever from Oshia, played by Tim Rosen, this bad dude. He's the loan shark who's sending thugs out there to the alleyways to beat up Lee Fong and Victor. Basically, the guy uses an illegal move in the boxing ring against Victor, and then knocks him out. He tries to hurt the guy, and he does. It was My mom was shocked. She's sitting right next to me in the theater. And keep in mind, I already mentioned, we feel like we're in a hallway, all the way in the back of a hallway, and that there's a large screen TV up front that serves as the movie theater. That's what I felt like yesterday, but it all worked out as far as at least being able to see the flick and everything. It's just, I don't think I've been in a movie theater arranged like that in forever. She was like shocked and then tearing up like, oh no. I'm like, okay, just calm down. I'm sure he's going to be all right. This is PG-13. So yeah, it's like he had a concussion or whatever. He's in the hospital. And this is like the segue of Lee Fong's life, because his flashback to how his brother died, and they don't give you all that information at once, they trickle it out over the whole movie, and I like the way they did that. I just wish they had given it a little bit more time to breathe. It would have added gravity, and it would have added more emotional tension. It would have given you more time to get invested in the character. The few shots of his brother fighting and having trained him, and how Lee Fong feels like he failed his brother because the guy pulled a knife and he stabbed him and he died from that, and all of a sudden Mr. Han is there on the scene with the ambulance, and how traumatic that was. So Lee Fong is having his flashback. He froze up to the point to where Mia gives him this disgusting look like, come on, I need you, and then she just kind of gives up, and the way she shakes her head as she's kind of giving up on him as she goes into the ER to be with her dad. It was a nice little piece of acting, but at the same time, I'm like, other things in the movie I wish they had given more time to, like not moments like the guy being knocked out, or not. I just want some more tension, basically, is all I wanted, but they didn't give it to me. It's still a good movie, though. I just think it could have been a great movie. That's what I'm always on the lookout for here. So, what else can I say? It seems like there was one more thing I wanted to be sure to talk about. The sorry, these guys, I tell you what, the loan sharkers. Lee Fong beats them up in an alley to the point to where they got to run away. And this is before what I just mentioned, obviously, about him wanting to train and get back into boxing so he doesn't lose his Pisa place. But one gripe I have against the movie, again, it's still a good movie, I enjoyed it, it's just the plot. The plot, because it seems, the best I can make of it is, I'm like, okay, how did we get from here to here? How did we get from Lee Fong being beaten? He blames himself because he feels like he failed another friend and he didn't act in time to help another friend when he needed him in a fight. And it was he blames himself for being willing to train Victor at all and encourage him to get back into fighting against Mia's wishes, because she's just like Lee Fong's mother doesn't want him to fight. Mia didn't want Victor to fight. And so he blames himself, and so he's just defeated. Okay, it just seemed jarring to me, this halfway point in the movie where it's like, okay, Mr. Fon's coming in, but why? Did anybody call upon him? Did I miss something? It's like he comes in back into Lee Fong's life, crossing an ocean all the way to New York City to help him. And then the idea to bring in Daniel, that is what was completely, it's like, okay, we know what we want to do in this movie, and this is Legends. This is about a multi-generational paying it forward. It's about respect and nobility and passing on the knowledge. And they do a lot of, they do that pretty well, I believe, in the movie. It's just, how did we get here? Where did the idea to bring Daniel into it, except that it's about two different places, two different cultures, like Dr. Fong had said. He's in New York now, and so he's going to bring somebody who knows karate into it, the spiritual successor of Master Miyagi. I hope I'm getting his name correct. I just thought, okay, I can see this happening. I just don't understand. As I'm watching it, I just didn't understand why. It's like the movie wasn't fully explaining these different movements of why Mr. Hong is all of a sudden showing up, and he says, this has got to be done. We're going to enter this contest. We're going to win. He brings Daniel in. I say, okay, it all looks good, sounds good. I was like, how did we get here? Anyways, speaking of something, I don't recall seeing in the movie, I saw it yesterday, any scene where you see in the trailer, Ming Na Wen, Dr. Fong, says, do you want him to end up like his brother? They're at the kitchen table, at the dinner table, and Jackie Chan says, so that he doesn't end up like his brother. That wasn't in the movie yesterday. It was in the trailer, but I don't recall seeing that in the movie, and I didn't get up once. So go figure. I don't know why that wasn't in there. That it would have added a little bit of seriousness if that line had been in there. What he did talk about was, it's about not giving up. It's about, and even that, one of those lines in the movie felt not so much forced, but like undeserved in a way. It's like, how did we get here? Slow down, movie. It's like, it feels like we're missing something here. And yeah, that was just something that kind of bothered me as we got past the halfway point, and you realize, okay, Li Fong's being trained. He's got to listen to both of them. He has the hilarious montage where both of his instructors are basically beating the snot out of him. Okay, we're going to do this way, the Kung Fu way. No, we're going to do this way, the Karate way. And then there he is, beaten and battered on the ground, Li Fong, and he says, oh, no, there's two of them now. He basically gets up and says, look, in this city, what does he say? In Brooklyn, this is called assault, which y'all are doing. And so he basically excuses himself to not get thrown to the ground again, because they're just throwing him to the ground like 4 or 5 times, saying, oh, well, I can throw him to the ground this way. And no, you should do it this way. And they weren't so much teaching him anything at that point, so much as just almost one-upping each other as they were beating up Lee. But I'll tell you what, the whole thing about this guy, he fights like a tiger. We've got to set a trap with his tiger, and his dragon kick deal, all that was good. That was great. I just wish it had been slowed down a little bit. I can almost guarantee you, when I go back and I watch the original movies, that things are going to be exactly as I'm kind of hoping this one would have been, kind of slowed down. And I know the fight choreography is going to look different. Those of you who have seen all the movies, you can probably tell me that now. But it's like some of this stuff is almost a blur these days. But I can almost guarantee that's how it's going to be. I'm going to watch the movies and I'm going to be like, yep. It looks more straightforward in these earlier versions, these earlier iterations, stories. Anyway, what more can I say? This is a neat little movie about a young man who is trying to find his place in a new city, uprooted from his place, his country, his culture, his fighting style, Kung Fu, and had to adopt all new place, an all new city, all new culture, all new food, pizza, and karate under the instruction of Daniel. And one of the best moments of the movie was when, okay, Mia has come around. She sees, she knows what's got to be done and all, but it's when his mother, I think there was a good line by Mr. Han, Jackie Chan. He says he has everything. It's something like he has everything. He just needs one more thing or something like that. And basically, it's his mother finally relenting in the end when she realizes this is something he has to do for his life, for his heart, mind, soul, to be there for his friends, to honor the memory of his brother, to stand up for himself. All these things rolled into one. There's this moment where she finally, it's right before the fight on the rooftop at the end, which looked so good. What a great setting that. It was beautiful. She hugs him and wishes him well on the fight and all that. That was one of the best scenes in the movie. And there's Aramis Knight, played by Connor Day. I haven't seen him in anything before, but he was a good evil bully in this. But yeah, well, actually, I take it back. I was about to say something. My mom commented something like, "You can't just hit somebody on the subway and think you're going to get away." I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I know you're probably still back in some previous decade, Mom, but yeah, you probably could just whack up a few people on the subway or on the street in New York City these days and just keep right on with it. And that's the kind of guy Connor is, and it's his dad who's the loan shark. Oh my goodness, isn't that a neat little bow they wrapped it all up in? And even in the end, in one of the final, I can't believe it did, in one of the final determination, disqualification, whatever matches, when they were, I forget the name of what you call it, when they're finding out who's going to be the actual competitors in the end, the elimination rounds. The stinking loan sharkers try and take out the kid, and they attack Han and LaRusso like they're going to achieve anything. No, they busted him up and slammed him down, and it was, again, that was another scene where it's like Mr. Han says something kind of sarcastic and snarky, and you know it was funny. I'm like, I just missed a funny line by Jackie Chan, but this movie is moving so fast with its cinematography that I missed it. Anyways, still enjoyed it. They got a little cameo by William Zabka. I know he's in the original films and Cobra Kai and all, but he's just barely in it at the very end with a Pizza joke. It was a fun movie, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was my birthday movie, basically. Till next time, folks, if I think of anything to add to this before I upload it, I will. If not, hey, keep watching my videos. I might revisit this, the way I ramble on about random movies in my videos. So thanks for listening to me, and take care.